Welcome to the All Things Arsenal podcast, where we're talking about all things Arsenal. It's been a little while, so hope everyone is doing well, and hope you've all been enjoying the football. There's been loads of football to watch, lots of things to talk about. But since we last spoke, there's been two Premier League games, and it was the good and the bad. The bad came first last Monday against Crystal Palace at the Emirates. It was a really strange game, this one, because we started off really, really well. We went 1-0 up after 8 minutes through Aubameyang. And you're thinking, okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going at Palace, putting on the pressure, keep pressing them, keep going for the second, third goal, and just, finish the game off as soon as possible. That didn't happen. We then went to go on and play really negative football until we were 2-1 down, and then eventually we managed to get a last-minute equaliser against them to get a 2-2 draw. We got a point. And I was just really confused as to why we did that, why we went from playing so positive to so negative. You know, if we'd went 1-0 up in the 80th or 85th minute, then I'd probably understand, maybe going defensive and just soaking up the pressure, just hanging on to a 1-0 win. That I would understand a bit more. But why would you want to go so defensive and so deep after the 8th minute of going 1-0 up, knowing what attacking threat Crystal Palace, have? So I was really baffled by our tactics in that game. I thought we got the tactics wrong. I think we just got that game completely wrong. I don't know why we played like that. We should have carried on. A bit like the Spurs game where we got the first goal, then the second, then the third. And then, half-time we're 3-0 up. Second half, we then took it easy because we knew that we had the advantage. And yeah, Spurs got one back, but it wasn't enough because we'd got three, so we won 3-1. But we didn't do that against Palace, and it's really frustrating because I feel if we had just carried on playing the way we're playing, the result could have been different, but obviously we will never know because we didn't do that. We went negative, we went too deep, and when we tried to attack them, we were so deep in our half, we couldn't get an attack going, and eventually we cracked under the pressure, and it wasn't good enough, but we got a point. A point's better than no points, so, we take that point and we move on. And then we had Aston Villa on Friday night, a game I was a bit worried about, I have to say, because I think Aston Villa, they haven't had the best of starts, I should say, but they're a good side. They've got some really good players, they've got a good manager, they had a decent season last season, and I thought this would be a really tough game for us. But I have to say, we played really well on Friday night. I was really impressed. And what we did against Villa is exactly what we should have done against Palace. We got the first goal against Villa and we didn't let up. We carried on pushing for more goals. We put pressure on them. We pressed them really high, and we pressed at the right times as well. So as they were about to get the ball, we already had a player on that player. And, our tactics were spot on in that game, and I have to give credit to Arteta for that. I have to give credit to the players, and it was just a joy to watch them on Friday night. It was a real joy. They played some really good football, and Villa weren't great. Particularly in the first half, I thought Aston Villa were awful, but I think it was a combination of Villa were generally awful, and I think Arsenal made them look awful because of how good their pressing was. We didn't let them get going, and we played really well. And it was everyone played well. It wasn't like, 2 or 3 players did okay, like carry the team. It was like everyone played their part. I could give man the matches to any of those players on Friday night. But a couple of players did stand out to me, and the one that, has been standing out a lot recently, Smith Rowe. I mean, how good is this guy? He is such a good player. Not long ago, maybe a year or two ago, in terms of the youngsters that we have, I thought the player with sort of the highest ceiling, the biggest potential was Martinelli. But I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking, I think Smith Rowe has the biggest potential. I think Smith Rowe could go on to be a world class player if he realises potential. He gets goals, he gets assists, and he's hungry and he wants more and he's so passionate. And I think this lad can go right to the very top if he realises his potential. Martinelli and Saka could still go very far, don't get me wrong, but I really am starting to think Smith Rowe could be a world class footballer. And another player that I thought played really well was Tavares. Tierney was out, and I was a bit worried because I wasn't quite sure about Tavares to start with. And obviously Tierney usually is our go-to guy at left back. Although I do think in recent times Tierney has not been the same as what he has been in the past. Maybe because of injury, maybe injuries hindered him a little bit. But I thought Tavares was brilliant on Friday night. He was up and down the wing. He was always, making himself available for the ball. He was making the right runs. He was putting in crosses. And he was actually going for goal quite a few times, getting shots on target. And I was really impressed with how well Tavares played on Friday night. And it's probably given Arteta something to think about, because Tierney was always the obvious choice for left back. But I think Tavares has given Arteta something to think about after that performance on Friday night. It'd be interesting to see actually who Arteta selects tomorrow night for the League Cup game against Leeds, whether it would be Tavares or Tierney. Because if Tierney is fit, then I don't know. I mean, would it be Tierney? Would it be Tavares? I mean, maybe leave your thoughts in the comments as to who you would pick. I think at the minute, I'd probably say Tierney would go in the League Cup game to A, get fitness back, and B, obviously, get game time. But I'd like to see Tavares get a chance, because I was really impressed with how he performed on Friday night. And he's very young as well. I think he's 21, so he's got the potential to improve. And yeah, I mean, he was so brave, like in terms of how he's playing, and always, showing himself for the ball. He wanted the ball, and it was a brilliant game from him. And I'm trying to think who else played. I mean, there's so many players that played well on Friday night. I mean, I could go all night about it, but I think all 11 of them played really well. It was a proper team performance. Thomas Partey scored his first goal as well at the club, which is good to see. And you want to see more of that. You just want to see team performances. And if we lose, we go down fighting. If we draw, we still put in a performance. But I feel if we perform like we did on Friday night every week, then I think we could definitely challenge for a European spot. I don't see why not. But it's about getting the press right. The press is so important, because that's how I think that's how Arteta wants to play football. He wants to press the opposition at the right times. He wants to press them into mistakes. He wants to stop them from playing their football. And we want to press them high so that we can get on the front foot straight away. And that's what I saw on Friday night. And Friday night should be the blueprint for going forward to, other games that we're playing. But it's a strange one, because then you look at Monday night and you think, where was that on Monday night? We weren't pressing. We were allowing Palace onto us too easily. And I just feel that it's imperative to get Friday night going forward, the same game pattern, the press, the confidence, the overlapping runs from the wing-backs in Tomiyasu and Tavares. And Lokonga and Partey, I was a bit worried about a few weeks ago after their performance against Brighton, because I thought Lokonga was a passenger and Partey just was all over the shop. But after I watched them Friday night, it made me realise actually these two can work together, and they do work well together when they play the game, their right game, when they're pressing and pressing at the right times. Partey I always thought about as a box-to-box midfielder, and Friday night he was literally a box-to-box midfielder. He was defending, he was running forward with the ball, he was shooting, he was scoring goals. I mean, Partey was everywhere on Friday night, and that's what you want to see. So, yeah, like I say, I'll say it again, Friday night has to be a blueprint for Arsenal. And if we can carry on these kind of performances, I do think we can get Europa League. And I'm going to say it. I'm probably going to get criticised for it, but I'm going to say it. There's 3 teams that I think are definitely nailed on going to get Champions League football. And it's Manchester City, Liverpool and Chelsea. But after watching Manchester United absolute shambles yesterday at the Old Trafford, I am starting to think, is top 4 unrealistic for Arsenal? Could Arsenal somehow still get Champions League football? Let me know what you think, and we can have a discussion. You know, you guys can have a discussion and just see what we think. I mean, my target at the start of the season was Europa League football, but with Man United performing so badly, and if they do keep Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for the season, who knows? Who knows what might happen? Tomorrow night we have Leeds United in the League Cup, and again, I'll say it's a competition I think we do need to take seriously, but we also need to think about the Premier League, of course. So I think there needs to be rotation tomorrow night. I'd like to see the likes of Martinelli, Leno, Rob Holding, Mari, players like that maybe getting the nod for tomorrow's game, and keep our cup run going in the League Cup. It is live on Sky Sports as well, which is good. And yeah, because we need to keep our best players fit for the Premier League, because we've actually found ourselves somehow in a European scrap. We are 10th in the Premier League at the moment, but the 3 teams above us are on the same points as us. And the 5th and 6th place teams were only 1 point behind, which is the Europa League spot. And the team that's 4th were only 3 points behind the Champions League. So we do need to think about that. We do need to think about rotation. And in a way, it's kind of good that we don't have European football, because it plays into our hands not having to play the extra games. You know, so it gives us a fair shot. But we have to keep building. We have to keep playing the same way as we did on Friday night. And we can't go back to just trying to hold on to Leeds from the 8th minute. I mean, it's just crazy. Like, I don't know why we played like that on Monday night. Aubameyang said himself, we just stopped playing. And my worry is, we can see that you stopped playing, but my question is, why did you stop playing? Why did you stop playing? Because the quality is there. We can score goals. So why, after the 8th minute of the game, did we just decide to stop playing? And that's my worry. And that's my worry going forward, is that it's going to be an inconsistent pattern of we play really well, then we don't play. Play really well, then we don't play. There's got to be consistency, especially if you're going for a European spot. And that's why we failed last season, because we had a 12-game patch where we won 2, drew 2, lost 8. You cannot have those runs if you're going to be in Europe. It's as simple as that. We have to get it right. We have to get consistency, and that stems from the manager, and that stems from the players. Between all of them, they've got to get that system right. They've got to get that philosophy right. They've got to get their tactics right. They've got to get it right in every single game, not just once every 5 games. They've got to get it right every single game to give us a fair shot of European football at the Emirates next season. Thank you so much for letting me into your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it may be. And hopefully we'll see the same kind of football from Friday night going forwards. If you did like this video, please like, please subscribe, please comment. and I'll speak to you all very soon. Take care.